Hi, I'm Christine Livingston and this is Nick Williams.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, great, thank you.
Today we are having a conversation about work and the role it plays in people's lives. Something we've both got, I think, a very big passion for. From your point of view, Nick, tell me, how do you see work? What role does it play in people's lives? Is it an important one?
Well, we certainly spend a lot of our time and energy doing it. For most people it's perhaps a third of their lives, so for most people it's a very significant thing, and I think more and more people today are asking themselves, what role does work play? And there's lots of different ways of approaching it. A lot of people have been brought up to believe that you shouldn't really enjoy work that much. It's just something you have to do to earn money to pay the bills so that hopefully you can enjoy the rest of your life. Personally, I think we shortchange ourselves when we do that, and I'm personally an advocate of saying actually work can be a source of potential joy. It can be a way of serving your fellow human beings. It can be a meaningful way of connecting with people. It can be community. It can be the way that you express your talent in the world. So I personally hold the idea that work can be all of those good things. It's not just a means to an end to earn money, and of course you earn money doing it. What's your take on it?
I think work plays a very big role in helping us shape our identity and actually put our identity into the world. And I think we get a lot of the sense of who we are through our work. I was struck by some words that you used when we were talking earlier about it kind of being our soul's canvas. For me it is a way where who we are comes in contact with the world. And, my sense is if that's not fulfilled, then at a level we can be quite miserable. Certainly those of us who have got any kind of sensitivity around it, I'm sure there are people who are quite happy just to kind of get on with whatever it is they're doing. But I think there are many people in the world who feel unfulfilled by something they're doing right now because it's not really allowing them to put on the map who they uniquely are.
I guess in my mind there's two ways of approaching that. Number one is there more of you that you could bring to what you're already doing? And I know that's a lot of the work you do, isn't it? You work with people in an organisational setting to say, is there more of you can bring to what you're already doing? Because I think sometimes we think it's easier to change our work than to change ourselves within our work. Do you find that?
Completely. Absolutely. I think that often people I work with want to change something that's outside of them, when actually the starting point is an inner question. It's about what can I change about myself? How can I see things differently? What kind of frames of reference can I shift that just allow me a different experience?
You know David White, don't you?
I do,
the poet. We're both fans of his work, and I know one of the things he talks about is that we've got these gifts and talents that are often kind of hidden away inside us, and do we have the courage to kind of bring them out into the world? And he talks about our work being a shoreline where our soul can become visible in the world. And I love that idea. So
absolutely.
Do we have the courage, and sometimes it seems like to bring our own gifts and express them authentically through our work, or do we just turn up and tick the boxes for what we're supposed to do in our work?
Yes, and I think that, and this is an area I think that organisations are trying to grapple with. When you hear the term talent management being kicked around, what I think they're trying to do is to think about, well, how can we best match people's talents, what people are really best at, to the roles that we put them in, particularly in our more senior roles. And I'd really love to see more work done in that whole area, because I think it's not well understood yet and not best exploited, really.
No, if I had my way I'd call it inspiring talent, not managing talent. Because I'm big onto inspiration, but I think there are certain talents and abilities that people will only bring out when they feel inspired. However big the carrot you dangle in front of them, they won't necessarily jump through the hoop. But when they are personally engaged with something, or they feel inspired about it, they'll bring their best to it. And so I think for me, I don't know about for you, but it's also learning to probably move from management to leadership. Where leaders inspire the best in people, not manage people.
Yes.
Your take as well?
Absolutely. I was thinking back to a conversation we had earlier in the coffee shop about some of the labels that some businesses put on things like talent management and employee engagement that can often be really well meant, but actually kind of miss the boat on the whole, you know, the whole thing.
Yeah. Like human resources was a step on from personnel, but it's still seeing people as a resource, not as a living being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even organisationally, people talk about leadership, but they put leadership in a box as well. And actually, I don't know about you, but my sense is that the whole essence of leadership is shifting. It's not a... It's becoming much less a kind of hierarchical thing these days, and much more about putting oneself on the map.
Personal leadership without position, just choosing to do something.
Yeah.
And just following on from the other point, you know, I'd say about, you know, one way of approaching work is to think about what of yourself could you bring that you're not bringing. But secondly is to be honest and sometimes say, actually, what I'm doing doesn't fit my strengths.
Yes.
So I do think we also need to look sometimes and be honest and go, you know what, this isn't playing to my strengths. You know, like, I think looking back on it, I could have been happier perhaps for a year or two selling computers, but I could never have expressed, you know, my writing, my speaking and all that stuff through that job. And there comes a time when you have to go, what maybe I need a different canvas.
Yes.
You know, and I think sometimes we do have to ask ourselves the bigger question and say, well, you know, I brought my best to this job, but it still ain't the right job for me.
Yes.
There's something else I could be doing that would be a lot more appropriate for me.
Or it's been the right job till now, and now I'm changing.
Yeah.
Now I'm understanding actually I have other talents that are starting to express themselves and need paying attention to.
Yeah.
So what do I need to be doing now?
Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you, Nick.
Well, thank you. Thanks for watching. Hope you found it helpful.
Thanks.